Hey there, what's going on? It's me, your beloved Captain Nyanpasu. And welcome back to another video. And today I want to talk a bit about yesterday's episode of Youjo Senki, or the epic tales of Tanya, the awesome main character. And yes, it was a great episode, and it's not that the story in itself is that awesome, but Tanya is the major factor why I'm enjoying the series. The way she is doing things like a boss or like a little girl, who knows, is way too entertaining. And Tanya was awesome in this episode. She's always awesome, but this time it was even better. And I'm not even kidding. It's... how can I say it without sounding like an crazy old dude? She was savage as fuck. And... well, she made trouble for herself, as always. And it's also that she was trolling the others. Well, with others, I mean the enemy. And I'm really looking forward to what the fuck will happen in the future. So, what happened? Tanya was tasked to put together a battalion in the last week's episode number 4, and she continued in this episode with it, and well, she got her assistant back, the lovely girl from the front lines. And it's really funny how Tanya was struggling to put together a team, but it's not because she didn't want to. Well, it is kinda because of that, but it's more because her expectations, her standards, her requirements were way too high. And it's obviously, on one side, the experience and knowledge from her previous life, but on the other hand, it's also for the reason because she doesn't really want to do that. So she was tricking them with having a holograph and tricking them, and all of these guys were being trolled like a boss, and she sent them back. And it's also really funny because the other higher-ups were like, well, yeah, your requirements are way too high, just lower them. So she did it, she got a team together, and then she needed some time to prepare them. Well, it's kinda obvious. You won't go to war with people who are not trained. And, well, it's Tanya. And I don't even have to say how she trained them. Bombarding them for 36 hours. Having them walk through a mountain path. And kicking their asses because they couldn't dodge an avalanche. And in the end, she turned these little boys in their army who were like, well, yeah, I'm in the army, and they basically just got their basic training, and he was turning these little boys into, well, real men. And it's funny because she really did it in a way that was cruel, that was savage, and she basically show them what true fear means. So, what happened? Tanya probably hoped that they will quit, and these guys were way too afraid to quit. So, yeah, they stayed there and pulled through the 1 month of training. With all said and done, training over, Tanya had to move to the front lines. And it was not even one-sided, because even a one-sided fight isn't that one-sided. It's like, well, I don't know, a huge army against a bunch of kids. But this time it was the other way around. The invading army was huge, and the group of soldiers to fight them was small, which was Tanya's group, but they were way too overpowered compared to these guys. They didn't have any magicians, they couldn't fly, and so on. So, yeah, they were screwed. And what happened? They won without a doubt. And Tanya went to their headquarters. And was that scene when one of the two funniest scenes from this episode happened. Because she asked that commander-like guy, well, yeah, welcome to the Empire. What's the purpose of your visit? Do you have a visa? And this line alone, I couldn't stop laughing. So I had to stop the video, I laughed and calmed down. And then continued to watch it, and that guy was like, shut up, and he shot. And then we got to another funny scene, which is still part of this one, is because Tanya's voice, her facial expression, and her line was glorious. It was evil, it was savage, it was just awesome. And that was, no visa? And seriously, I almost cried out. It was way too hard for me to keep it in. So I laughed like a crazy dude. And after that, they killed all of the soldiers, kept him alive, and took their stuff. And then Tanya ordered her guys to go to the capital. She went with them, and there was this facility, the fabric, that huge ground, the house, and they destroyed it. But Tanya played a bit after the book of the laws of wartime, which was announcing the attack and give the enemy a chance to escape. Obviously, one of her subordinates was like, we will lose the advantage of the surprise attack, and she was like, well, yeah, I saw that a bit earlier. You are way too stiff about that book. Basically because he was trying to follow it, even it isn't necessary, and she's like, well, yeah, fuck you. So Tanya made her announcement of, we're going to attack, run away or you will die. But she used her cute little girl voice, which was hilarious. Oh my gosh, I couldn't stop laughing. It was hands down the single best scene of this episode. So it was just perfect. Obviously, the enemy didn't believe it because they thought it was a kid's prank. And yeah, they were done. They were killed, the facility destroyed, boom, finish. And what also surprised me a bit is that they have skipped the opening and the ending. So I'm really curious to see how often we will get it in the future when they skip it. Anyways, that's it for this episode. I had a shit ton of fun with it. And the only small issue is that Tanya is overshadowing all of the other characters. Well, it may not be an issue if it was intended by the writer itself, but it could also be the fact that the anime adaptation is more rushed than the source material. So I'm really looking forward to picking up the light novel. Yeah, it isn't licensed, but I hope someone will do it. Wink wink, Yen Press. I hope you will hear me. Or any of the other one, but I would prefer Yen Press. Just saying. Or Vertical. Both are pretty damn good. The J-Novel Club, they're good as well, but I would prefer a physical copy. So this is just a thing for me. But yeah, anyways, great episode. I'm checking out if there's a fan translation or whatever going on. So yeah, see you later. Today it's Saturday, so we will obviously get more videos. It's a video for Rewrite, the first episode of the Terra Road adaptation / butchering. I don't know what will happen. And obviously Sangatsu no Line. And here I know I haven't done the videos for Aka and Akiba's Trip and Masamune-kun's last 2 episodes. So yeah, I have still a bit to do. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you guys later. Bye bye!